Hey guys, welcome to another crazy YouTube video. Now, as you all know, I grew up with Legos, Skylanders, but one of the biggest things I grew up with was Phineas and Ferb. I mean, you guys can kind of tell since, you know, I hosted an entire reanimated project for it. But today, me and Andrew, I guess, are going to be explaining our top picks for the craziest Phineas and Ferb episodes, because boy, were some of the creators drunk while making this show. Also, where do Phineas and Ferb get all the money for their inventions? Do they, like, show up to random construction sites and steal their whole stock? Okay, last side note, I love the way Phineas and Ferb characters dance. It's so satisfying. Imagine pulling up to the party with these moves. Blackout has always been one of my favorite episodes because of how random and crazy it is. Most episodes follow a very laid out idea. These goofs build something, Candace gets mad, and Dr. Doofenshmirtz wants to conquer a small island in the Caribbean because, I don't know, he hates fish. Dr. Doofenshmirtz has a plan to make himself big old sad eyes so people pity him. Basically America's Got Talent. And it works. His eyes are very sad. This guy needs a puppy. The machine he built is literally so powerful, it shuts down the entire town's power. So instead of, you know, Phineas and Ferb taking a little break, they build a secret invention. But Candace will not let this slide. She is going to bust the boys. Does Candace not have anything to do? Doesn't Candace have like a boyfriend? The mom is stuck in traffic as she plans on going on a date with her husband. She can never catch a break. Also, this dad is so wholesome. There's something about him that makes him wholesome. So apparently this machine is like so jacked up. Like Candace is getting thrown, folded, molded, melded. So their big invention was this. What the hell? Do you guys remember that Phineas and Ferb episode where Phineas and Ferb actually do get busted? As a child watching that had me messed up. The mom sends these boys to like a camp where they become less creative. Like, who would want their child to be creative, okay? It works so well that these boys start becoming brainless zombies. I mean, it says a lot. The more you disregard somebody's dreams and the more you push them down, the more they will become a zombie like everybody else. I'm quoting that, but it was just a dream. Night of the Living Pharmacist, one of the most genius episodes, the episode that made me want to multiply. And also, there's a ton of mindless doofs walking around the tri-state area. No emotion, just destroyed. If these guys touch you, then you also become doof. They are too OP. At this point, it's just the cheese touch. Imagine the show ending with all the characters becoming Dr. Doof. Fade to darkness, end credits, I'm getting chills. Terrifying tri-state Trilogy of Terror. That's a mouthful. I think this one's a Halloween special. I don't know. There's lots of cool, scary episodes. There's a flying baby head. There's an evil platypus clone. And Ducky Momo, the cute little plushie, is now evil. All this originates from Candace saying a spell to the duck in which the duck comes to life and stalks her. Turns out Ducky Momo just wanted a hug.
What the dog doing?
I think some of my favorite episodes are always the music ones. I have to admit, Phineas and Ferb songs, low-key kind of slap. Get your goomies that I love you! There's that episode where they get a band back together, Love Handle, to play for their parents. That's really nice. These kids are too good for this world. I would never do that. It becomes this whole reunion / musical. Ain't Got Rhythm is an S-tier Phineas and Ferb song. Like, that's something that would be in a musical. Like, oh my gosh, it does have rhythm. It's so good. My favorite music episode is Max Modem! Hey, the man, the legend. Take my leg warmers, Max! Pop stars in 2100. Linda is doing a Lindana, performance. I mean, music runs in the family. And my boy Lawrence gets a little bit jealous. I'm not gonna say it, but he gets a little jealous. He wants to impress her. He wants to be cool too. So, the boys give him a makeover, and he becomes Max Modem.
Whenever it comes to weird episodes of a TV show, Phineas and Ferb is a very interesting case study, because the show itself is incredibly formulaic, because you can do anything wacky, and it feels somewhat normal. It's got the same principle as regular show in my opinion, and that expect the unexpected. However, I think the show is most interesting when it abandons the formula, and tries something different. Enter Doof 101, a backdoor pilot where Doofenshmirtz becomes a teacher after being given the ultimatum of either do community service or go to jail. And yeah, that means the episode takes place during the school year, which automatically makes it weird. Even though so far I've established that Doof 101 is a 180 from conventional Phineas and Ferb, it still contains some conventions of the main show, whether that be the random team up of Perry and Doof to fight a third villain, or the little father-daughter interactions with Doof and Vanessa. Despite it being different, it's still familiar. The plot of the episode revolves around the high school dynamic and how Vanessa dumped her boyfriend, and the boyfriend is really upset about it. We also meet the principal and a couple of teachers, but they're forgettable. They're nothing more than a personification of the consequences if Doof does a bad job as a teacher. Oh yeah, the principal has a love triangle with Doof because he dated Charlene. It doesn't impact the story much, if at all. It just explains why the headmaster was wary of Doof, even though he should be anyways because he's a criminal. But alas, Doof begins teaching normal science by conducting an experiment on DNA. Doof playing with DNA being a big part of the episode, but we'll come to that soon. For now, we got a bigger thing to focus on, because we've got 3 ittle bugs in the story, and that they don't do much. It's just interesting to watch them. But anyways, these bugs have clout, with Josh Gad voicing Wendell, J.K. Simmons voicing Napoleon. I mean, Josh Gad was in Pixels. Wow. Speaking of wow, their entire arc is about them trying to communicate with humans, which doesn't go too well. However, we got a little blunder on our hands, you know? The bugs get stuck under a beaker. The ultimate bad ending. Despite me talking about how small and insignificant the bugs are, they actually do something, as they're the catalyst of Johnny's downfall. Johnny is the main character of this episode if you really think about it. His entire life fell apart thanks to Vanessa, and he's currently rattling through the 5 stages of grief, and it comes to a climax where a dish with a bunch of mutated DNA gets flung into Johnny's face, and then Johnny mutates into a chimera, and then Perry comes out of nowhere. Wow, it's all coming together. Epic. Perry comes to school and teams up with Doof to hatch a plan to catch Johnny, who's kidnapped Vanessa. Oh no! Then this goes on for way too long, as Doof and Perry try to catch Johnny, Doof being the incompetent buffoon, and Perry just trying his best. Eventually, the plan does work, however only with Vanessa's help, as she hits Johnny with the needle and they both fall to their doom. Yeah, the episode ends with a funeral of Vanessa and Johnny, and on top of that, the bugs died a tragic death. My next choice for a weird Phineas and Ferb episode is Meepless in Seattle, and this episode is a fever trip. Everything from Meep having to wear a mustache to talk English, to, spoiler alert, Balloony showing up. The entire episode is a MacGuffin plot, with a cute chalice, cute as in contains cute. Yeah, the lore of the Phineas and Ferb world is that Meep's planet has Cutonium, and then it was sent away into deep space because it was too powerful, all the while being contained in an ittle-whittle chalice. This is where we introduce Mitch, the villain with an English accent, because that's just the stereotype for English people. He wants to use the Cutonium to install a dictatorship on his home planet. So Meep and our main cast embark on a United States-wide quest to find the Cutonium before Mitch. They begin excavating the landscape in search for the chalice, but then Doof and Perry come along and ruin the entire charade. I could talk about the little minute details like Peter the Panda showing up, but we gotta move fast, brother, because Mitch is on his way to snatch the Cutonium. But what happens when there's no Cutonium left? Because Doof drank it all. Ingesting the Cutonium made Doofenshmirtz cute. And by cute, it basically just means chibi with an ultra instinct aura. Either way, Mitch was able to tell that Doof had ingested the Cutonium, and then sought to kidnap Doof, in which we are led on a wild goose chase where Doof ends up with Phineas and Ferb, and our main cast have the runaway from Mitch. It doesn't work. The part of the episode I remember the most is the fight scene within Mitch's evil lair. We have this B-plot with Peter, Perry, and a now liberated Doof trying to escape the ship, but then we meet Balloony again. But then he tragically dies in war. There's way too much that happens here. It's stressing me out. Speaking of stressed out, Isabella is stressed out because everyone around her is immobile, and Phineas is down bad.
Look at the little guy. What's the fastest way I can transfer all my assets into his name?
Isabella is actually the supreme cute being, as she is able to snap Phineas out of his trance. Phineas then tells Isabella to go down and eradicate Mitch. It plays out all fine. Mitch gets destroyed by Isabella. Episode's over, right? Nah, we've got one casualty here. Balloony. Perry delivers a gift to Doof and repaired Balloony with a band-aid over his wound. Wow, that's really it, huh? But come on, let's get the next Meep episode going. Wait, there's no third one?
Hey guys, I hope you guys liked this video. Thank you, Andrew, I guess, for collabing with me. I haven't done a collaboration forever, so go subscribe to him in the description, and make sure to subscribe to me. That would be pretty cool. I mean, you don't want to miss an Awesomemay video. I plan on doing a lot more videos like this where I talk about movies and shows. I just need to incorporate more animation, hopefully, or not at all. I don't know. It depends on what video it is. But yeah, I'll probably be focusing more on videos like this where I have a mix of, you know, art and animation, and having a mix of, you know, editing and talking about something. I have a video coming out soon. I have a ton of videos coming out that I have planned, so get ready for that. I want to do a video where I talk about the craziest Gumball or Gravity Falls episodes, so if you guys want to see that, like this video and subscribe. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, that's it. Stay awesome.